Lore for my project Ox Part 1. This is Talon. He is known as the Guardian of Virtue. He is a great warrior with a heart of gold, humble and a dependable leader. He has saved the lives of many and has always fought for what is for the betterment of the people. He always knows when to show mercy or when to decay. However, his judgment is never wrong. His greatest weakness is his own heart, as he often is overly sympathetic and empathetic towards others, more than a warrior should be. He always worries about letting people down and blames himself if something bad happens and he wasn't fast enough to stop it. He often overworks himself, constantly training or helping others, shaving little rest. Most of the money he makes is put towards helping others. He rarely ever raises his blade, only in self-defense or striking the finishing blow, which is what he tries to avoid the most. His backstory: he grew up in a small poor village. He didn't grow up with a lot, just a roof over his head and food on the plate. However, he was grateful for what he had. He was a very happy child despite the circumstances. His parents were very loving and taught him to be grateful for the little things in life and taught him how to grow into a good person. His mother was a baker and his father worked in the mines. Compared to the rest of the village, they would have been very well off. However, they always gave their earnings to the other people of the village for repairs or medicine or anything else. Needless to say, his parents were well respected amongst the villagers, and that's part of the reason why he gives most of his money away when he's older. However, now it's time for his trauma, because what good is Enoch without trauma? On a seemingly normal day when he was about 7 years old, a group of bandits came to the village. They demanded money and food. However, the villagers didn't have much, which outraged the bandits. They decided to make the villagers pay. They had led each villager in rage, taking what little they had. By the time help had come, everyone was dead or fatally injured, besides Talon, as he had hid under the sink cabinet. The bandits left after thinking they left no survivors. Talon finally had the nerve to come out of his hiding spot and cried next to his dead parents, begging them to wake up. But of course they didn't. When that help arrived, they saw only Talon alive, and the injured had no chance of surviving. The general felt awful and took Talon in as his own. Talon was taught how to fight by that general and the other warriors. When he was 18, he joined them and declared he'd make sure no one would ever go through what he did. Quirks and flaws. Besides, in battle, he cannot stand his mask being imperfect and always fixes it. He also constantly polishes it. He bottles up his emotions and doesn't like talking about himself, thinking he'd be a burden to those around him if he did. Powers. There are 12 powers. He has the power of light. I'm still not sure how to earn it, as I'm still working that out in the story, as I'm not completely sure how people get their powers or earn it or what.